Sims and Leon, your mom's favorite podcast. Trust me, I'm a mom.
I'm very excited about this episode.
Yep.
For any of our old fans that used to listen to Garage Talk Radio, which I bet there's probably about 3.
Fans.
There's got to be at least 3 people that listen to that and this.
Maybe.
So anybody that listened to the old Garage Talk Radio is going to hear a very familiar voice, and that would be the great Meghan.
Hello. That is a small Venn diagram. Maybe 3 people.
Yeah, we haven't really done anything in like over 10 years with that, but I know like my cousins and stuff that listen will recognize your voice, and all our friends that we have that are mutual friends, you know?
Right. Has it been 10 years?
It's been 10
since
years.
we did that?
Yeah, because I turned 30 while we were doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm 40 now.
Yep. And I was 20.
Oh my God. Wow.
A little bit.
Okay. Well, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Nice to be back.
Yeah.
Wish I was in your garage.
We're actually in Dustin's garage.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Dustin, I wish I was in your garage.
We upgraded, I guess.
Yeah, we're at
You can
the.
call it upgraded.
We're at the.
We don't have the fancy bar like you did. We're
yeah.
due.
We're no longer bar casting. Now we're round table casting. We're at the. Who sponsored the table this week?
I don't know.
So
who paid for it?
Wachita River Haven.
Yeah. Wachita River Haven.
Wachita River Haven round table on the Sims and Leon podcast.
How great was that commercial?
Dude, that commercial was so great.
Loved it. I felt it in my bones.
That one made me so happy just listening to it and having Rusty say the phone number in Spanish.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So good, so good. Okay, so you're on our hotline. Our hotline is the buyherepayhererv.com hotline.
Yep.
Where you can go and, buy an RV and pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right there off 35
Don't tell my
here in
husband
Burleson.
that.
It's very self-explanatory in the name. Buy here,
Explanatory.
pay here. What'd I say?
Explanatory.
Very explanatory?
There you go.
Okay. The buyherepayhererv.com hotline.
Yep.
That's how we got a hold of Meghan today.
That's right. The hotline.
Yep.
Meghan,
Here I am.
what have you been up to?
Well, I've been pretty busy in the last 10 years.
Uh-huh.
I am a mom and a wife and a Dallas resident.
Dallas.
So for yeah, I know. Don't hold it against me, please. It was not my choice. However, I live in the closest spot in Dallas to Fort Worth.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oak
So,
Well,
and yeah, Oak Cliff and Burleson.
yeah, nothing's really close to Burleson, though. And no,
Well, yeah, but no other part of Dallas is closer to Burleson than I am.
okay, that's true. In everybody's mind, Burleson is like the furthest place you can go, especially if you live in like Fort Worth. Like, oh, Burleson, that's so far. It's literally 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
We're not that far out here. It just sounds far because it's a longer name, I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, you have a Chili's, right? It's not that bad out there.
Oh, shit.
We have a Chili's, we have an
ton of
Applebee's.
stuff. Recently got a Cheddar's.
Oh, hold the phone.
Well, I mean, technically Fort Worth. But
We have
it's
all
right.
the barbecue places.
Yeah.
Literally,
I'll book an Airbnb.
all
I'll
of
book an
them.
Airbnb and make a trip out.
We got a Twin Peaks. Replace the Fridays.
yeah, we don't have a Fridays anymore, but we do have a Twin Peaks.
That's an upgrade.
We got some fancy donut place that was voted for Burleson. What's that donut place called?
Doughboy.
Maybe, I don't know.
I haven't been
Yum.
there. I'm on a diet,
They were like a food truck in Fort Worth, I think. I may be butchering this whole story. And then they did
Definitely a food truck because they have one parked out front all the time.
And they did like a vote online to see where they were going to open up a location, and Burleson won.
Yeah.
Wow. And
yeah.
that's how. And they were like, okay, we'll sign this lease, even if
Yeah.
it's triple the cost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, and we're getting a high barbecue
Yep, we're getting
to
high.
add to the rest of
nice.
the barbecues. 'Cause we have a Heart 8 now.
We have a Hard 8. We have Rudy's.
Yeah. We
We're
have
getting
Roscoe's.
We have Roscoe's. What's that Cajun place that you eat at all the time?
Razoo's. We're getting
Razoo's,
Razoo's.
Razoo's.
Oh, I can't wait for that. We ate there last week at the one in Fort Worth. It's
So-
man, I love it.
So what you're telling me is it shouldn't be Dallas Fort Worth. They should expand them for marketing purposes. It should be Dallas Fort Worth Burleson.
Exactly.
DFWB.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just skip Everman and
right.
all that. Yeah. Skip over all those.
So you have no reason to live in Dallas. Y'all can just do everything here in
Yeah.
in Burleson.
Right. Well, I'll let Clark know we are thinking about relocating because the
Oh,
market
nice.
is so hot right now.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I bet it's pretty
we've
hot in
got-
Oak Cliff.
it is real hot here. Yeah. And like, it's a little scary. We own a cabin up in Broken Bow in Oklahoma.
There you go.
So,
That's what I'm talking about.
we could always just go live up in the woods.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I did training for work last week, and one of the ladies that was doing the training, the first thing she told us was, just so you know, I'm from Minnesota. And I was like, oh,
Yes.
I love her voice. That's what made me think of you.
Did she say bag?
Yes, she did. It was awesome. But yeah, it made me think of you is the reason why I reached out to you, because like we need to have Meghan on 100%.
Man, I was thinking like, oh, maybe Dustin and Ricky were like, who are some great people that we podcasted with 10 years ago? Oh yeah, Meghan. Let's check her. Let's see what she's up to. But no, it was because you heard somebody say vague.
No, it reminded me of that because
Okay.
when we first started planning all this out, we have a list of people that we want on, and you were
I'm
on
pretty
that
sure.
list.
Yeah, you said her name before.
Yeah, you're on the list because
Okay, good.
I've always found you very interesting. So you're a
Oh,
mom.
well, thank you.
You're a mom now too.
I am. So like I think I'm a little less interesting than if anybody out there in the audience knew me in my Fort Worth time. I'm a little less interesting now, but I mean we've all aged. There might be some more parents around listening than before. So yeah, I'm a mom. My daughter just turned 4 years old last week.
Nice.
And I have my hands full.
And
to say the
she
least.
looks just like you.
She is. It feels like I'm raising myself. It is terrifying.
So me and Meghan met playing kickball
Yep.
Yeah.
Long time
a
ago.
long time ago, and so we
When you
did
played with Hawkeye.
we did an S&L Light podcast a little bit before this, which is a new thing we're doing.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that hotline was brought to you by Texas-kickball.com because registration for Texas-kickball is open and the season starts this Thursday
Nice.
on the 24th.
Oh my God. But some of the best times of my life playing kickball in Fort Worth.
And some of the best times and meeting some of my favorite people to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much good came from that, from relationships and connections and friendships. And so many people are married and have babies because of playing kickball in Fort Worth. And yeah, we did a good thing, Ricky.
Yeah, I think we did. You started it all. You did all the backbone work. Backbone work?
Yeah. Yeah. And then
behind this.
Yeah. And then I dragged you in kicking and screaming.
Yes, you dragged me in because it was the worst thing that I ever got to do.
For the Texas kickball.
Yeah.
No, this was before that.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a different. Yeah. Yeah. But then Texas kickball rose from the ashes, and it's dominated ever since.
Yeah, and you're the reason Fort Worth has kickball.
Yeah, I love it.
And now there's multiple leagues.
I know. I'm glad to be out of the like competition and busting my butt. Can you swear?
Oh yeah,
we have the E next door.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm glad I'm not like busting my ass and trying to like I would go, you remember this, Ricky, we would go to bars and like pick up new players. Like that's where we recruited was out on a weeknight. If you're out at a bar on a weeknight and you're single, like there's a pretty good chance you should be playing kickball.
100% you should be. Yeah, I used to take, every time I would go to the bar, I would take a kickball with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always a great conversation starter. What is that? It's like, oh, it's kickball. Let me tell you about this league. And
yeah. My opening line was always, if it was a guy, I'd say, "Hey, do you like cute girls?" And he'd say yes, and I'd say, "Well, come play kickball," and then vice versa. And
so our most recent team that we had, which I think I'm done with kickball. I hate to say it, but I think I'm retired.
Hey, you're 40.
Yeah, and I played last year, or I played last year. I was captain of the team again last year.
Okay.
Sure.
And now it's like, I don't know. I still have fun, but the team we've had for the last 3 years, I know you've probably seen pictures of it, but we literally have the old school 10 years ago players.
Wow.
That we all played on different teams. Like before Jenny and John moved to Colorado, they were playing with us. Spangler, Zach,
So oh wow. So it's like your super group.
Yeah, and we dominated most of the time.
Of course.
It was insane. Like all these young kids be out there stretching, running, everyone on our team was like putting knee braces on, ankle braces.
Jesus. Icy hot.
Smoking in the dugout.
And then we just go out there and just destroy them. It was
Awesome.
so much
I
fun.
love it. They didn't see it. It was coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then, life happens over I think the last year it was harder and harder for everybody to come out. Everyone has kids now, and it's not easy to get out every Thursday night and go play kickball.
Yep.
I mean, for me, it's not bad because I don't have any kids, but I also like staying home now because I'm old, and that's what you do when you're old.
Well, yeah, and you have dogs.
Or you podcast.
Yeah, I have dogs.
Yeah. Did you ever get Dustin to play?
Yeah, Dustin played.
Like in the beginning.
Yeah, he played back in the Waka days.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
I played dodgeball.
that's right.
Super secret time. He played before he was 21.
Yeah, I did.
Now I remember. Nope, I remember. Yep.
Yeah, I believe it was you because well, he's not 21. He's like, they don't check.
I was not responsible for that.
All you have to do is check yes, and then you're in.
Man, I wish I could still claim that.
Has the statute of limitations run out? I can say, I knew that Dustin Sims was 20 years old.
Yeah,
we're
way past 10 years.
We're way past that statute of
Good.
limitation.
Because that was probably 12, 13 years ago at this point.
No, I don't think it was that long.
Okay, Elena and I have been dating 11 years ago this week.
Yeah,
And
she played
It was
too.
a 4.
Holy shit!
no.
I totally remember your girlfriend,
Elena
who I
played.
assume is not your girlfriend anymore.
Yeah,
they're married.
We upgraded it.
Yeah, she played too.
Nice.
Huh.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
Small.
thought I
Yeah,
played
long
before
time ago.
her.
I don't
know.
think so.
I know we played. She played dodgeball with us.
She played dodgeball and kickball.
Hmm.
It was all around the same time.
With Hawkeye.
Oh, she never played with Hawkeye.
Yeah, she did.
When dodgeball started, I loved having those little dodgeballs to throw at people at bars. That was so much fun. Because the big rubber kickball, you can't really throw at somebody. You can just kind of bounce it and they'll get their attention. But the little foam dodgeballs that we had, you throw it at somebody like, what the hell was that? It's like, oh, that's dodgeball.
Yeah.
You remember dodgeball? I loved doing that so much because it was just getting out there and talking to people and doing stupid stuff like throwing dodgeballs at random strangers at a bar. You don't know know how they're going to react, but 99% of the time they reacted very positive. Because then you tell them oh, there's a league. We play at the old fire station that's now an apartment.
And that 1% is why you have charges out against you.
Possibly.
Yeah.
All right, Dustin, did you get a chance to watch the Super Bowl?
Are
Are we allowed to say Super Bowl?
Are we?
We're not
The
hosting a
game,
party
the
or
big
anything.
guys, the big game.
Yeah, we'll beep that out.
Okay.
Did you get a chance to watch the big halftime show?
I started it and I was not impressed, so I went and took a shower.
You weren't impressed with the halftime show at all?
No, not at all.
Why?
Says the
Just a-
30-year-old.
Yeah.
Too much lip syncing.
Well, that's the
and
halftime
not
show
being-
every time.
I know, and it just doesn't catch my attention.
So you don't like
Snoop
any
Doggy
halftime
Dogg,
shows?
I like Snoop Dogg on there. Yeah, I would say I just don't like any of them.
Okay.
But did you not watch it long enough to see Eminem?
Doesn't sound like
No,
it. 'Cause
he was at the end.
I stopped watching it when 50 Cent was hanging from the ceiling.
when he came out like a bat.
Yeah.
50
I feel
Cent
like
be
Dustin-
looking like $1.
I feel like you'd probably be into Eminem, you're skinny white guy,
Yeah, I don't think
right?
you were never big into hip hop.
Not really.
So yeah, it's not really his genre of choice. I
Oh.
don't think. But I love the halftime show, but it's mostly because it takes you back.
You are squarely in the demographic that they were
100%.
looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was me.
You are.
Go ahead.
Well, you are the one. You are a 40-year-old who has all the buying power left. You're the one that the advertisers want to reach.
Yeah.
I'm only 39. I'm only 39 for another month, so they were not trying to reach.
They weren't
me.
trying to reach you. They had me.
No.
In I watched it at my cousin's house. Not this cousin, different cousin, Jerry. You know him. And
Who?
Jerry.
Yeah, sure do.
Yeah.
Jerry
so-
Durham.
Jerry Durham. And my friend Holly, you don't know her. My friend Stephanie, you don't know her. But Jerry, Archie. And so it's all of our demographic, we're the target audience. So being able to enjoy it with other people that love that same music was a lot of fun.
It was impressed. I am so impressed with Dr. Dre. I looked it up. He's 57 years old, and and like he is like smooth as hell. He looks fantastic, and clearly he's still like has a major pull in the industry.
Yeah.
And I love that they brought him for like, you know, it's very California centric. Like the game was in LA, right? And they brought him in for his hometown crowd.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting Ice Cube to show up,
Ice Cube.
Same.
and I was kind of sad he didn't. I had a bet with one of my friends that holographic Tupac would show up. He did not.
There was a
No,
lot
he
of people
didn't.
that said that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take claim that I was the first one that said it, and the rest copied me.
Yeah.
But it seemed like it made the most
So is
sense for me.
Tupac dead?
Yeah, he's been dead for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, he got shot outside of club.
And, oh, man, I think Holly's going to be very mad at me for saying this, but
Oh Lord, here we go.
this was not my favorite halftime show of all time.
What is
Yeah.
What is-
Oh, here it goes. The dirt. Who's your favorite?
Hands down, it's Prince.
Yes.
100%. He's playing Purple Rain in the rain.
Oh, so good, you guys.
And he had it in this.
What year was that?
Oh, shoot.
2007.
2007.
Okay.
Megan knows. She did her homework.
Look at that.
Well, here's the thing with Prince, you guys. Okay, as previously discussed, Minnesota. I am from the Midwest, Wisconsin and Minnesota. Prince is from Minnesota. He's from a town called Chanhassen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, suburb of Minnesota, or of Minneapolis, excuse me. He is obsessed with the number 7.
Okay.
So wherever you can find it, like 7 is all over the place for him. So yeah, he played in 2007. But he lived at a place called Paisley Park, which was like his compound. That's where he lived, where he recorded. He had a huge venue there, so he could do shows there. And now that he passed away, it's a museum of sorts, and you could buy a ticket and take a tour through it, which of course I have done. And they play this great clip of the Super Bowl at the very end of the tour. And they have this, I don't know if it was a producer of the Super Bowl halftime show or what, but they have an interview with him. And they explained how it was pouring rain during the Super Bowl. And they were so nervous. It had never rained like this during a Super Bowl before. And they call up Prince and they say, it's raining really hard, and like expecting him to be all diva and everything. And Prince's response was, "Can you make it rain harder?"
Oh,
And
nice.
Like,
yes.
What a badass statement on the
Yes.
Like, that is absolutely perfect.
And then he just killed it out there, and has the most out of all the Super Bowl halftime shows. Janet Jackson showing off her nipple, everything. He has the most overtly sexual, phallic
The giant
thing.
dick-shaped guitar.
Yes, and then the sheet drops, and it's just the shadow.
Yes.
It is. I mean, that is a penis right there.
Yeah.
And nobody bats an eye. It's amazing.
In the last few episodes, we have not talked about poop much. Elena claims we talk about poop all the time.
Yeah, she
but
does
we
say
have
that.
talked about large dicks.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed
We
that.
have. We've set a trend. It comes in threes,
It
right?
comes in threes. On last week's episode with the Leaky, we talked about the Pam and Tommy miniseries on Hulu.
Oh yeah, I just started watching that.
So you've made it to episode 2?
Yes,
Where he's-
unfortunately.
Golly.
Yes, it's talking to him.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this again, even though we talked about it last week. We talked about it on the
Here's the third time
SNL
it's come
Light.
up.
Did I tell you about SNL Light?
No, you started
kinda.
to. Tell me about SNL
Okay,
Light.
so we normally put our podcast out on Monday, and they're roughly about 2 hours each. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we decided, you know what? We have a lot of extra content just sitting here that needs to go somewhere. So we're gonna do a Thursday night episode.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be half the time. Or it's
Oh,
gonna be
cute.
Oh,
Okay.
mine not
it'll be a
even-
half episode.
It could
you know?
be even 30 minutes.
It could be
Who
30 minutes. It
knows?
could be half an hour. It could
Yeah.
be something random.
Yeah, it's just gonna be random.
So we
Wait,
thought,
sorry.
Sorry,
set schedule.
so that extra content includes talking about Pam and Tommy yet again.
well, we didn't do just extra content this time, so
Spoiler.
we wanted to introduce it to everybody. Like, this is what we're doing. It has a different theme song, and we had my cousin Mikey on, who created all of our music here. You know, So he also created that theme song. So we had him on and talked about it, and me and him started talking about Pam and Tommy. And again, how shocking it is to see that penis right in your face, moving around, talking.
I would trade so much more than just Tommy's fake penis in to just have a show of Seth Rogen's character. Like, that's the best part about that show, 100%.
I agree. Seth Rogen's character is great. He jerks off a lot at the beginning, too.
Oh, my God.
But they don't show it. I mean, they show him doing it, but they don't show him, like, his actual dick like they do Tommy's. But his character is so beaten down at the beginning.
I just love how he, like, holds himself. He's, like, kind of slumped over, and those long jean shorts that were so popular back then. Oh, he's just perfect.
And then Nick Offerman plays the perfect. He plays the perfect porn director.
Oh, sleazeball.
Like the absolutely perfect porn director. Oh yeah, a side movie or side show with just those two would be great.
Huh.
And
Agreed. I'm paying.
I do kind of like how they split it up. Like the first episode was all about those two. Second episode was all about Pam and Tommy. And then third episode is mostly about those two. And then now they're kind of mixing them together a little bit because they're interacting some.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't watched this week's episode yet, so hopefully I'll watch that one soon.
You know what I like about Pam and Tommy is that it's on Hulu and I don't have to pay for it because I use Ricky's password.
Oh my gosh. We talked about that last time too.
Yeah, but she has her own profile. It's not like it's just,
I do.
She doesn't just randomly log in. She has her own profile. She's part of the number that I can have on there, and it's with no commercials because nobody wants to watch.
Yeah, nobody
with
does.
commercials.
No, yeah.
I would much rather.
And by the way, I don't know that I should like put it out here on the podcast, but like if you want any of my services, like Disney Plus or anything, you just let me know.
Yeah, I can edit this out, but I may hit you up on that Disney Plus.
Happy to give it to you. PBS Kids, if you're into that.
Probably don't need that one.
Little Caillou. Little Arthur. Is there any Arthur on there?
Like I have HBO and Showtime.
No, if you're talking about Arthur, the anteater. Yeah, Aardvark. Yeah.
With Buster. So,
yeah, bingo. Wow.
Is he on there?
You are young. Yes.
Oh my
that's
gosh,
on
I'm
PBS
young.
Kids.
Okay, so y'all never watched it.
I feel like I know of Arthur because I knew who you were talking about, but I don't think I've ever seen any
episodes?
Arthur.
I think it was books. Ricky, I think it was books when we were kids.
That's what I was about to say. I thought it was a
show.
print thing, like either in the newspaper or a book. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yours was an actual cartoon?
Mm-hmm. Best show ever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know Big Bird used to have an imaginary friend? Big Bird used to have an imaginary friend, Mr. Snuffleupagus.
Oh, really?
He's no longer imaginary now. Everybody sees him.
Oh, yeah.
Because back when I was a kid, only Big Bird saw him and us because we were watching it. But now everybody sees him.
We were watching.
Oh, I didn't know that there was that transition.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was there a movie about that?
About
Snuffleupagus?
I don't know. He's just a big...
Oh,
this is fucking.
No.
This is riveting content.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of shit. What's that show? It's a Disney
Clifford,
show.
the big red dog.
Nope. It's a movie. I'm sorry. I went off.
Oh, no, go ahead. But what's the movie?
I'm trying to think of the name of it.
What's it about?
It's like, okay, so it's got the different personalities in the head. So it's like this little girl, but there's like different personalities.
Oh, Mindy
of her.
Kaling. Yeah, Mindy Kaling's in that.
And like it depends on like there's angry, there's all this. Well, anyways, she has an imaginary friend, which is I don't know if it's Snuffleupagus, but it's something similar as an elephant.
Okay, Snuffleupagus was a big hairy elephant.
Dustin, Inside Out.
Inside Out. That's it.
Inside
Out. It's a good movie.
Okay, I may give it a try.
You should. Well, if you get the Disney Plus thing, then it's on there.
I edit the first part out, and I have to edit this part out too.
I said if you get Disney Plus.
Okay, fair enough.
You'll be paying for it.
I could be paying for it.
You
I
will be paying for it.
Yeah, I don't want to sign up today.
I got Paramount Plus just because I wanted to watch the 1883.
Paramount Plus? So, which one does Yellowstone come
You got to watch Survivor.
It doesn't. Survivor.
Wait, hold on. You did not answer my question.
What about what?
I said, which one does Yellowstone come on? You said it doesn't.
Well, it doesn't come on the Paramount Plus. It comes on...
Because I recently...
Paramount Network.
Okay, yeah.
Paramount Network and Paramount Plus is two different things, which, honestly, when I was signing up, I thought I was getting both. Okay. Apparently, you don't.
Yeah, I recently...
It's all a ripoff.
I recently signed up for that so I could watch Yellowstone.
Oh, man. So good.
I've never seen any of it.
So freaking good.
Have you watched that, Megan?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I want to get back
I know.
to halftime shows, but since we're on TV talk again,
I hope that we're really getting listeners on this because one was like, I'm not really into the TV. I was like,
okay, well, I started watching Ted Lasso.
I don't know what that is.
It's on Apple
Oh,
TV.
so good.
So
There's so many networks and everything. You can't keep up.
I'm on a family plan on Apple TV, so it works for me.
Wow.
It's at first when I watch it, I didn't get into it, and then someone told me like give it another shot, and it's really good. It's like very uplifting. It's very, I don't know. It's like they're trying to make me cry in every episode now.
Mm-hmm. Are you just on the first season?
No, I finished season 1. I'm in the middle of season 2.
Okay, yeah. I like how it's really funny, but also cheesy and uplifting.
100% cheesy.
But in the second season, there's like, there's a little bit of drama and a little bit of darkness.
Hey, Dustin, I'll tell you one of his jokes.
Okay.
What does a British owl say?
Who?
Whom?
All right.
I said who?
Yeah.
I say whom?
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe not the best example.
Yeah, I don't know if that was
of
the
the
best
comedy.
one.
But it's Jason Sudeikis, who is like so charming and such a bright light, and he's just playing this like affable, goofy Southern character, like fish out of water guy.
Yeah, and he talks he talks very calmly, if that makes any sense. But
he's very Yoda.
Motivational speeches a lot. All right, Dustin said we can't talk about TV shows
I didn't say
anymore.
we couldn't.
He says he hates it and it's the worst thing ever. And
Putting words in my mouth there, son.
I heard if you say every single one of those words.
I didn't say I hated it.
Oh, you said
Give it a try, Dustin.
Lynette hated it.
I didn't say she hated it. I might have said that. I don't remember.
You said she didn't care about the TV talk. And we gotta keep her happy because she's our top
Sorry,
sponsor.
girl. Yeah.
She's
She's
our only real sponsor on this whole thing.
Me and her are the only real sponsors here.
Wait, does she run the RV place?
No.
She runs the mortgage department that pays my bills, which pays bills for the
Right.
podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
And she does put her name
She
on
keeps
there.
the lights on. Yeah.
Yeah, she keeps and she puts up with us coming over here and recording. Which is huge.
If somebody wants to come over and keep my husband happy for like hours at a time on weeknights, like that'd be cool. I'd happily pay that.
You're saying you want him to have friends? Is that what you're saying?
Friends that live closer, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yes, yeah.
Fair. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Prince was your favorite halftime show.
Prince was my hands down favorite, and to what Dustin said, even though Dustin does not like watching TV or talking about TV, to what he said, there is no lip syncing in Prince's performance.
I wouldn't expect
that is live. And he's playing the guitar live in the pouring rain. He's got 3 different electric guitars.
That's what I'm
it's just
talking
outstanding.
about. That's my type of halftime show.
Dustin, what's your favorite halftime show of all time?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
You don't have one?
No.
Not even you didn't like Katy Perry? With the dancing sharks behind her?
Oh, I do remember that one.
She had the dancing sharks that were not like they seemed like one of them forgot to show up to practice.
Yeah.
And they showed up like, all right, yeah, you can go out there anyways. We don't care. Or maybe there was like a sub in and he just kind of got back behind her, just moving around, not choreographed with anyone else. I loved that. But I like Katy Perry. And then who was in Houston? What was her name? Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Yeah,
Gaga.
that was a good one.
You know what I did not like about Gaga is that she did not change anything up. She just like sang her songs. She looked cool doing it and had, the stage performance was very cool, but it was just her songs. There were no guests or anything. My favorite, other than Prince, and I really liked it this year, was Beyonce. I wrote down Bey, which is why I said Beyonce. Beyonce, she nailed it. She was on with she's been on it twice, but it was like her show in 2016, I think. 2013, maybe.
Okay.
2013, I think.
I'll have to go back and look at that one.
She did not lip sync either. She sang her stuff live. As much as a hip hop artist like Beyonce can sing live, like, obviously there's a lot of like vocal things that are pre-recorded and stuff, but it you can see it in like the breathiness on the microphone and stuff. And like when you flip your hair back and forth and it sounds like it, like that's, you're singing live.
Well, one of the reasons I loved Lady Gaga so much because I just love her.
Well, obviously you named your dog after her.
Yeah, I have a dog named after her.
Yeah.
Lady G. But Lady G is a rock star. That's
Gaga.
how she got the name. So my friend Holly that was watching, I think it was Holly. I don't remember. Yeah, it was definitely her. While we were watching the halftime show, she goes, "Do you think Dr. Dre's really actually doing stuff on the mixer?" And I was like, "No, absolutely not. The mixer doesn't even look like it has buttons. It looks like it's white.
It's not plugged in.
Yeah.
It's not plugged in.
One thing I did love, way back when the Red Hot Chili Peppers did the halftime show,
Oh my God.
they literally unplugged their guitars so everybody knew it wasn't their actual music being played out there. They're
Love
like,
it.
we're not even going to fake that these are plugged in because we want to be honest with our fans. They're like,
I can respect
that.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm also like a little surprised that they wouldn't do some live stuff.
Yeah, well, I think some of the vocals were live, but none of the music.
Yeah, right.
Which-
that makes sense. That was 2014.
2014. God, you know a lot about these.
Yeah. She's
I just Googled it.
I didn't. Oh, yeah. I guess I could Google
we
stuff
could,
too.
but
Yeah.
we act like we have no electronic devices in front of us.
I don't.
Well, that's for.
I'm
I
not.
mean, you do.
It's behind me.
It's okay.
All right. So, what are you doing now for like your career?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Are you just a stay?
You're talking to me?
Well, yeah, I know what
Yeah.
Dustin does.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we had always planned like, hey, I'll go back to work after a year or so. And it just never really worked out like that. And then COVID kind of hit us over the head like a ton of bricks. And yeah, I'm still at home. I've got my real estate license, but I don't do anything with it. To keep my brain occupied, I said we had a cabin in Broken Bow,
Yeah.
and we rent it out. It's a short-term rental, so it's on Airbnb
Nice.
and VRBO.
Oh yeah,
And I manage.
we just breezed straight past that. Let's
No, I
talk
was
about
gonna
your
ask about
cabin.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about
But
that.
I manage all that. So I communicate with our local team, and I communicate with all the guests, and have there's always something breaking down because it's a cabin in the woods. So we get people out there to fix it and stuff. So I handle all that, which is nice. Kind of gives me like a professional outlet.
So how often does it get booked?
Damn, you're taking all my questions.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'll edit me out and you ask.
No.
In the slow months, it's probably booked 80% of the month. And
slow
in
month?
That's
March,
a slow month. Wow.
yeah, that's a slow month. So, and then in March, which is spring break, it'll be booked 95% of the month. And then June, July, and August until school starts, it'll be booked 100%.
So do y'all ever get to go in and enjoy it?
Yeah. So we like to, I have to book our time for it, but
Right.
we like to go up Sunday, like a Sunday afternoon after our guests checked out for the weekend, and then stay to a Tuesday or so. And it's absolutely beautiful up in Broken Bow. It's a 3-hour drive from Dallas and Fort Worth. I don't know, from Burleson, it's probably a 4.5-hour drive.
Yeah, it is.
It once took me 12 to 14 hours to get there.
Because of traffic.
It's
Yeah.
like obviously because you drove during Snowmageddon in 2021.
No. This was we were going there. We're meeting some friends out there. Me and my buddy Josh. We were meeting some friends out there. So I met him at his work, so he wouldn't have to drive his company truck back home. And then we started driving. We're like, we need to stop and get beer before we get to Oklahoma because Oklahoma has weak beer at that time.
Back in the time, right? Back in the
And
day, yeah.
we stopped right before we got to Lake Ray Hubbard, thinking because we didn't know how much further we had till we got to Oklahoma. So we pull off, and while we're
Is this
pulling
before
off,
phones or what?
no, it wasn't before phones.
Okay. Just,
But-
you said you didn't know how much further you had till you reached Oklahoma.
I just know we stopped for beer before that.
All right, fair enough.
And then as we're getting beer, we see smoke in the distance. We're like, I wonder what that is. So then we get back on the freeway to keep going, and there was a sideways 18-wheeler on the bridge over Lake Ray Hubbard.
On
Oh my
fire.
God.
And we were just past the exit, so we couldn't get off the road. So we sat there for like it seemed like 3 to 4 hours.
Fuck.
It might not have been that long, but at some point we're like, we're just going off-roading, going back the other way. But we waited so long that everybody else decided to do the same thing. So now to get around to a different bridge, everybody's going that way. So we're just in stop and go traffic. So we finally get around everything. We're in Oklahoma on a 2-way road that has one lane going one way, one going the other.
That's how they all are.
Yeah, that's how 2-lane roads work.
Okay, well, let's play radio so I can say a little bit long, make a story go a little bit longer, because
Play radio.
it fits into what happened.
Okay.
So we're driving. My buddy Josh is driving. We're in his truck, and there's a car coming towards us, but there's also a car next to us, like they're passing us, but they're not. They're driving next to us like they think.
I think it's
Yeah. So I wish they could have heard me say that, because then they would have known.
yeah.
This is not.
Oh my God,
They're not going the same direction. So Josh, like, what should I do?
Hold on. Those people were definitely from Dallas, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
Hold on. You are wrong on that.
Oh.
It makes even more sense when I get there.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
So Josh's like, what should I do? I was like, stop.
Yeah,
So
brake.
Don't be next to them when that car comes. So this car is coming straight at them. They're going straight at the car. I tell Josh, like, honk or something, because they're obviously not figuring out what's happening here. And then right before there was going to be a head-on collision, both of the vehicles swerved, and it was a small SUV Lexus and like an S10. Not the Batmobile S10, but just the normal S10.
Yeah.
When the SUV swerves to the side, they end up going in the ditch.
And
They
roll.
They didn't roll. But they almost rolled.
Yeah.
Like they were up on their side, landed back down. So we go talk to these girls. When we find out they're like 16, 17, 8-year-old girls.
And they were the ones in the wrong lane.
They were in the wrong lane.
Oh, Jesus.
And at first they're calm, they're fine. It's like, and they're like, what can we do for y'all right now? I was like, well, do you think you could pull us out of the ditch and we can just keep going? It's like, no, because you don't have any tires left on your wheels. Because they turn so hard, the tires just gone. And that's when one of the girls started crying. One of the girls started crying, and she's like, my dad's going to kill me. I was like, no, he's not.
Totally. That would have been my response, too, as a teenager.
No, he's not. He's just going to be happy that nobody was hurt. And so that took us another, 2 hours.
Jesus.
And it turns out they were going up to Broken Bow as well from Houston.
Oh, they were Houstonians.
Houstonians.
I mean, honestly, though, same difference, right? Dallas, Houston.
Yeah, that's what I said. When I tell you where they're from, it's all going to make sense anyway.
So they thought So they thought that the other way of traffic was like a highway, like
yes, they
where
thought
you couldn't see it.
I don't know, but they thought the 2 lanes we had were meant for both of us to go the same direction.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Because it's not like they were aggressively trying to pass us. They weren't going fast. They were just kind of driving right next to us.
Colorblind, right? Couldn't figure out a yellow line from a white line.
And then the other guy who ended up, he didn't nothing happened to his little truck. He moved out of the way the proper way. And then,
because he saw it the whole time.
Yeah, he's like, "What is going on?
Yeah.
There's a car coming head on at me.
Yeah,
I don't like this game of chicken." So then that added another 2.5 to 3 hours on top of the sitting on the bridge, on top of sitting in traffic, and yeah, it took us 12 hours to get to Broken Bow.
Broken Bow is nice, but I would not go there if it took me 12 hours to get there.
Well, no. It wasn't a planned 12 hours. It just happened to be taking that long.
Right. Yeah.
So tell me.
And is that the last time you went to Broken Bow?
That is the last time I've been.
All right. Well, it's about time to revisit.
I think so. So when y'all go stay there, do you make Clark rent it out from you so you get extra income?
Oh, that is super smart. We should do that. Unfortunately, the platforms Airbnb and VRBO take a service fee, so we would be losing our service fee to them.
You don't want to pay a service fee for you to go to your own place.
No. But when tax time comes, we can write off the trip as a business expense, which we certainly do.
Okay, and I assume you probably have a cleaning company that comes in.
Yeah, cleaning company, maintenance people, all that jazz.
All right, tell me about the property.
Yeah. So it's a 2 bedroom, 2 queen beds in each bedroom with a bathroom in each bedroom. It sits on 1 acre. It's on a hill. It has a back deck that juts out over the hill, and there's a hot tub on the back deck.
Yeah.
So you look out onto the beautiful pine trees, and then our property backs up into Beavers Bend State Park. So you pretty much just have wilderness all around you. And if any of your listeners have been to Broken Bow recently, they will know that it is just packed with cabins.
Yeah.
There's new cabins going up all the time. There's about 3,000 rental properties up there. new ones being built constantly. It's a super hot market for short-term rentals. And we have found this like perfect little perch. It's on a dead end road. And you know, we're not going to have any new builds around us because we're butted up against the state park, and it's just absolutely lovely.
That sounds perfect.
And there's a lot of properties up there now that, you know, you can go have a 5-star vacation in Broken Bow. There are some really, really nice cabins, like glammed out and everything. That is not my cabin. My cabin is comfortable and cozy and has everything you need. And so it attracts like a certain type of guest, and that type of guest loves it. And like, it's an awesome experience.
Do you want to describe what type of guest it attracts?
Not somebody that wants like a glammed out 5-star vacation property in the woods. Somebody that's like more comfortable staying in, like, so my property goes for on average like $199 a night, whereas you can get a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom for $399 a night. So somebody that's like looking for a little bit more reasonable now, you know, accommodations.
Did you say there's 2 queen beds in each room?
No, there's 2 bedrooms.
Okay,
there's
each one has a queen bed. Okay.
Yeah,
they have their own bathrooms.
And enough space for a pack and play. It's a great place for like a small family. So like a couple with like 1 to 2 kids, or we get a lot of 2 couples going up. I've actually rented it to some friends from kickball in Fort Worth. So it's a sweet spot for that. So it's called Arrowhead Cabin in Broken Bow. If anybody wants to Google that, you'll find our link.
Arrowhead Cabin, and that you can get on VRBO and Airbnb.
Yeah, it's on both, but just put that in Google and you'll find it. Nice. You'll find the listing.
I want to do that. Just see the pics.
Arrowhead Cabin.
Yeah. The pics are beautiful, and that being in that hot tub on the edge of the deck with the pines, it's just stunning. It reminds me a lot of growing up north, and there's not an area that I've seen that can replicate that in Texas.
Well, a lot of people bash on Oklahoma, but I think Oklahoma for the most part is pretty beautiful,
right?
And it's close. It's close to Texas.
Yeah, I was one who bashed on it too, and now that I am part of it, I mean, it's kind of the wild, wild west up there, right? There's no building permits or anything. Like,
it's weird how they work. I don't know if you listened to a couple previous episodes, but me and my wife just recently bought some property up in Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
What'd you say I need to Google?
Arrowhead Cabin, Broken Bow.
Broken Bow. That's what I forgot.
It's not close to Broken Bow.
Where is it?
Well,
they don't know how to say their own names.
No, we do.
No, you do. The Oklahomans don't.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever heard of a town called Wapanucka?
No. How do you spell it?
It starts with a W. That's all I can tell you. You heard of Tishomingo?
Yes.
All right. So it's about 20 minutes from Tishomingo.
Okay. I mean, hasn't everybody heard of Tishomingo thanks to Miranda Lambert?
Not a lot of people. No, now it's thanks to Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton bought her out, and she done vacated town.
He kicked her out. He bought everything she owned there.
No, he didn't kick her out. She got pissed off that he bought it all, and she just put chains on the doors. Didn't even tell any of the employees that she was locking it up.
No.
Yep. That's the type. From what I've heard. Now I cannot confirm, but I do know some people that work there. And they said, nobody was given any notice. She just put chains on the doors and vacated town because he bought the building he bought the building where her store was at.
Yeah, so it's kind of his fault, though.
Oh,
I mean,
right?
Is it his fault? I mean, if he's got the money to buy it, she could have bought her own building. She could have kept it there.
Yeah, but she didn't.
Well, she didn't. It was the second store, anyways. It's not even from her hometown.
Oh.
It's pretty much his hometown over there. He grew up in, well, I'm not going to say because I don't want to be quoted on it. That'd be bad.
But all their towns have little nicknames because the Oklahomans can't say what the actual names are.
So what do they call Wapanaka?
Whuppie.
Oh, I see it on here. I'm on Google Maps. It's Wappy Express.
See?
Not cool.
I like Coleman better though. We're like right in between Wapanaka and Coleman.
So do you have land and a house or a trailer, or what do you have up
we
there?
just have the land right now at 60 acres.
They just recently purchased it or acquired it
within the past couple months. So it's still in the works.
Is
We're
that
gonna put some kind of a permanent structure on it.
Okay.
But-
Your little homestead up there.
Yeah. Hopefully a cabin. but
Cute.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll see.
Then you can rent it out.
Well, when you're ready to, when you're ready to get into
I'm
the
telling you,
short-term rental game.
It's out there in the sticks. I don't know if renting it out's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, but Meghan could do all your
And I don't know if I want somebody else out there. I just don't know. I want to keep it to myself. If I'm gonna lease the land, I'll lease it for cattle. I'll have some cattle out there.
Yeah.
So your Arrowhead cabin, does it have like a grill outside and things like that? Do you supply firewood for people there? Or do they have to bring their own?
They have to bring their own, but usually what happens is somebody will buy a what's it called?
Like a bundle?
A rick?
Oh, rick.
Yeah,
that
a bundle. A rick. Yeah. And they'll leave it there because they won't finish it. So there's usually firewood laying around.
Okay. Is there do y'all have like a fire pit built in?
Yeah. Well, there's a fire. Yeah, a fire
Like
pit is already there.
Or do you have a gas?
No.
Thing? No.
No, we're not that fancy. You gotta burn wood or charcoal, and yeah.
So is there like a common open area that you can like hang out and play games and stuff in?
Yeah, I mean it's a house. It's got it has a kitchen. Yeah, it's a kitchen and a like a living room attached.
You provide the cornhole boards?
We do not have cornhole boards because we're on a hill, so there's not a lot of great flat space. I'd love to provide cornhole.
Yeah, it makes it more challenging. Somebody has got to throw uphill.
Right?
Yeah.
Throwing uphill is never fun.
No.
We have the what's the thing where you throw the balls on the string?
Lasso golf or redneck golf.
Yeah, we have that thing. I don't know how to play it, but we have it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, you just throw golf balls on a string to the.
Yeah.
So since it has 2 golf balls, is that 2 points or 1?
So there's 3 different levels: top level, middle level, low level, and then you have your golf balls tethered to each other, and you fling it up there, and you're trying to land on something. And I believe, because I always thought the scoring was backwards. I believe the top one is a certain amount of like 2 points, and then next one's 3, the bottom one's 5. But I always thought it should be reversed because it's easy for something to hit the top one and end up being on one of the lower ones. So you're going to get more points for actually not getting the one you're aiming for.
Huh.
But that's basically it. I don't know the exact scoring. It's been a long time since I played.
Interesting.
I'm gonna link this to all my future guests so they know how to.
Yeah.
So that they can get a grasp on playing it before they get to my cabin.
Oh yeah, you could also do a nice little like framed. Have them on the back patio.
Yeah, extra. That is extra.
Yeah.
I have framed like don't put your sanitary things and wipes down my toilet because it's on a septic system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like don't throw your cigarette butts in the yard.
Yeah.
Yes, and also we get a lot of Mountain Dew cans.
Mountain Dew.
Crushed and thrown, or like the knockoff Mountain Dew. It's like Mountain Mist. I think.
Is that an Oklahoma thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that maybe.
So are you telling me that the beer drinkers there are respectful and clean up after themselves? It's these damn Mountain Dewers.
Yes.
They're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw it out here in the yard. Let someone let
keep
the
in
cleaning company deal with it.
Keep in mind what is legal in Oklahoma. So. Yeah. So who knows what substances they're on?
They can buy drugs, which is
yes, they can. Marijuana is legal in what's it called? Dispensaries.
Yeah, is it medical dispensaries only?
I don't know what the exact rules are. If you drive into Broken Bow, there are several dispensaries where you can stop, and I'm sure if you have the right amount of cash,
you can get what you want.
Yeah. Just don't smoke it inside my cabin. That's all I can.
I think from what I've heard, they have an in-house person that can write you a prescription as long as you say, "Yeah, I've got anxiety."
Yeah, I think I said that.
Oh, I've glaucoma.
Yeah, something like that.
I said some people have told me that. Now you're spreading the rumor that I'm spreading.
Oh, maybe you told me.
I think I did.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never walked into one.
On the podcast.
Yeah.
I think I said the same thing.
But
someone else told me this.
Probably.
It's 2-3 marijuana though, just like their beer used to be. Just kidding. I'm not spreading that rumor.
I'm
sure it's very
light.
potent.
Marijuana light.
The Diet Coke of marijuana.
Yeah, I'd be down to go visit your cabin. That sounds like a fun place.
Yeah, well, any Sunday through Tuesday that you're up for.
Sunday through Tuesday.
Oh, you're telling me I just go for fun? I don't have to book it through Airbnb?
No, you absolutely not, unless you want to give them your money.
Oh, I don't. I'd much rather not give them my
no.
money.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you can give me your money instead.
All right, you'll
And I'll cut you a smoking deal too.
Smoking.
smoking deal. I like that. You'll be the next sponsor for our roundtable.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The Arrowhead
Love it.
Roundtable.
The Arrowhead Cabin Roundtable.
I love it.
Arrowhead Cabin Broken Bow Roundtable.
Yeah.
All right.
And it came with that name when we bought it a year and a half ago. So
Oh,
there's
nice.
please do not accuse me of any insensitivities.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because you're definitely not Native American.
Choctaw, no, for sure. It's Choctaw land up there, and we love the Choctaws, and they do so much for our community. So thank you, Choctaw Nation.
So now that you have a kid, do you get to travel much?
I'm actually, sure, a little bit, but I'm going on my first childless vacation with my husband, Clark, on
To Broken Bow.
Tuesday. Oh, God, no. We have not been on a vacation together without our kid since she's existed, and we're going on Tuesday, which is why I couldn't be in studio with you guys, because we have to be real careful not to get sick before then.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because then we're only going for 5 days, so if we have COVID, we can't get back into the U.S.
Oh, don't worry.
Which sucks.
I've been
because
I've been down that
we have
road.
a 4-year-old.
Are you going to Mexico?
We're going to Costa Rica.
No, basically the same thing.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. I've never been to Costa Rica. I'm just making claims.
We're going to the jungle / ocean for I turn 40 next month. And I have a girlfriend from high school who now lives in England, actually.
Well, that's far away.
Sidebar. Yeah, she lives in Richmond, which is where Ted Lasso is set. Yeah. So my friend's name is Anna. She's lived in Richmond for like 5 or 6 years. So I've been to visit her over there. All the like scenes where Ted in Ted Lasso is walking around what is supposed to be Richmond, it's actually Richmond.
So that's not like filmed in LA. It's actually in Richmond.
No. He is like walking past pubs I have sat at. He is. They do all these shots where they're walking through like a green area, and it's called it is the green. It is the park in the middle of Richmond. So
I find that really awesome to know, because I just assume they're on sets, but
no.
Everybody on that show besides him and the other coach have that accent, so it makes sense that they're filming it there.
Yeah.
That
they don't
legit.
seem like fake act. You know what my favorite thing is, Dustin? There's a guy named Jamie Tart. He starts out, he's a super douchebag, and then I think it's like episode 3 or 4 where they introduce it, and he says, "Oh, they're gonna love me as soon as I score," and then I'll start singing. Jamie Tart do 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 Jamie Tart do 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 do.
That's pretty funny.
My favorite thing is Roy Kent, but
Roy Kent's awesome. I just watched the episode where he said he drank too much lactose and then ended up shitting himself on his pants to his little niece.
Yeah.
And then his girlfriend goes, "Finish the story," and she goes, "Yeah, that was 3 weeks ago."
Oh shit.
There's a part where he asks his niece if she wants to go to the podiatrist with him. Did you see that yet?
I don't think I've seen that yet.
Oh, it's so fucking funny.
So, all right, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And then
I need a refill.
Yeah, I need a unfill.
North Texas Fire is a family-owned and operated fire life safety company that serves all of North Texas. NTX Fire strives to provide the best service and customer experience with the expertise of their employees who have over 40 years of experience. Let NTX Fire design, install, inspect, or service your systems on your existing or new project. Visit ntxfire.com for contact information or to sign up for their newsletter. North Texas Fire, your mom's favorite fire safety experts, because no mom like fire unless they're firemen.
Hi, I'm Elena Sims, a Vice President at Community National Mortgage. I'm here to take care of all of your lending needs to finance your next home. Whether you're purchasing an existing home or working with a builder, I can help. For application information, you can visit my Facebook page at TX Lending Made Easy.
Elena Sims, NMLS 1193345.
Your mom's favorite equal housing lender.
Are you washing your hands?
I already did.
Oh, good. I'm proud of you. I didn't wash my hands because I peed outside.
Which is probably why the 13-hour trip to Broken Bow wasn't so bad, because you could just get out and pee. I've been stuck in a car accident like that before, and it was like an absolute nightmare just because I had to pee so bad. So funny story about that. Scotty, I go to the park every day with Scotty, like after preschool, and she always has to go potty, but there's no potties at the park we go to.
Oh no!
So she like poops in the woods almost every single day.
Number 2?
Hold on.
Yes.
Not even number 1.
That took a turn I did not expect.
Yeah.
Like, oh, seriously, to the point where all of our friends are like, "Oh, it's that time, isn't it?" Like,
So does she?
poops in the woods.
Does she just go on her own, or does she like ask you to take her?
No, I have to hold her. Like, I hold her hands, and then she squats.
Oh yeah, so she.
And then I have poop bags from the dogs. So I always have
No,
doggy poop bags on
It's
me.
in the woods. Let
No,
it be.
it's not. It's like the city woods.
Oh, that's sick. There's no way. There's no way.
I think you'd probably be okay just leaving it there, right?
Yeah. I mean, I
No,
guess
you
if she's
guys,
going...
she literally poops every single day there. I have to clean it up.
Oh, it
You'd
would
clean it up if it was your
Or just-
dog.
it would start
Make a
piling up.
pile.
You're right.
No, if it was my dog and it was in the woods, I'm sorry, all bets are off.
This is not the woods like Broken Bow.
Oh.
This is like there's like 50
Walking
yards
trails.
of trees between like the playground and the golf
Is-
course. Like
is-
that's
dude,
the kind of woods.
Is
we're
this the
talking
woods that it's like over the they built that park over the bridge, like over the
about.
road?
I mean, it's not quite that
but basically,
urban, but yeah, I mean it's in our neighborhood.
She's going to be 20 years old, and you're going to be able to tell her, I picked your shit up in the woods
every day.
Seriously?
every day
Every
for
kid,
2
every
years.
person who knows her right now will know that because they watch her do it.
Oh
And then
my
her little
God.
friends will walk over and be like, "Can Scotty come play yet?"
Oh
And I'll
my
be like,
God.
Like a modicum of privacy. I mean, she doesn't care.
That
She's
is
like,
awesome.
"Watch my poop."
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many? Please tell me you've taken pictures, not of her poop. And
No, like I'm holding her hands while this is happening.
you can set something up.
I'm sure somebody's taking a picture of you while it's... Oh, my Lord.
Like it doesn't have to be in action pooping, but just like a over the shoulder of you and her just squatting there to have let it all go.
Jesus.
I will make sure you can
Okay.
see our setup.
Well, teach
So you
her
can
right.
see like
I'm just
Oh, no.
happy.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, like you said, they just can't do it. It's just something that even if nobody's around, nobody can see you. It's not going to happen.
Can't
you know,
poop outside?
unless you're on porcelain. That's just Some
Interesting.
people can't poop outside.
Oh, I poop outside plenty of times.
Can't I have pooped
not
outside?
not as much as my kid, but
No,
yeah.
probably not. When I say plenty of times, it's like been camping.
Yeah,
Like
camping.
I've gone
yeah.
camping and pooped outside.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, that's a little different than just going to the park every day and pooping.
Like every day. This is her routine.
Do you ever encourage her to try to poop before going to the park?
Yeah.
No, because I pick her up from school and we go straight to the park.
Oh, maybe we should talk to her teacher and be like, hey, I'm going to need y'all to make sure she poops.
No, it'd be very funny if she's embarrassed to poop at the school, but she has no problem pooping at the park.
Right? In front of all of her friends that she goes to school
It's
with.
like, I don't want those school people to know I'm pooping here, but y'all can come watch me poop in the park.
I used to carry with me, and parents will know this, what this is, but like a little toddler potty, like a training potty. I used to carry one with me in the back of my car so she could, do
like
her
you don't
thing
need it.
wherever. Yeah, like then I have to clean it out all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
I'd much rather her just poop on the ground and
pick it up
scoop
in a
in a
bag.
bag.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So do you ever have her like on a leash so you have the little bag connected to your leash?
Like a
She's not
lanyard.
tolerant of that. She prefers to be off leash.
I
Let's have
could
a-
not imagine any of your offspring being tolerant being on a leash. Like that.
See, my dog and my child are they're very food motivated. They're
Put a little lanyard
they're
around her neck with the little bone with the baggies that come out of it.
right,
Just-
yeah.
She just has it hanging on her neck.
Yeah,
all
it's
the
like a
time.
necklace.
Yeah, my dog.
She does. Yeah, she does love jewelry. Yeah.
There you go. Lady G doesn't even have a collar. Like, I mean,
She's well known in the neighborhood.
she is well known in the neighborhood.
I was gonna say everybody knows her, right?
Yeah, everybody
Gets
knows
out.
her, and her and Ellie would always just rip each other's collars off. So it was pointless to put new ones on them.
Yeah.
All right, so you were originally from Wisconsin,
Yeah, grew up in Wisconsin,
then you went to Minnesota.
outside of Milwaukee.
Minnesota.
Lived in Minneapolis area.
So from the time you're in Wisconsin, how did you end up in Fort Worth?
I started a relationship with a man. We'll call him a man child, who was from Fort Worth.
So confused.
Okay, let's go back a little further. Let's go to college. So you went to college in Minnesota.
At the University of Minnesota. Go Gophers.
Go Gophers.
Yep.
And what? Yeah, tell us
and
about
then-
tell us about that. Tell us about college.
It was great. It was fucking awesome.
So
I was a communications degree, which is just like total bullshit, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
hey,
you and my wife would get along.
Is that the only degree you have?
Yes, it's the only degree I have.
Okay.
Barely. Like, hey, these are the classes I'll actually show up to. I guess this will be my degree.
That makes sense. And you didn't live anywhere between Wisconsin and college.
No, right. 18, moved about a 5-hour drive away from my family to Minneapolis.
Okay.
Which I know to most Texans all seems like the same thing. But
Yeah,
it is not.
I'm glad you said it in hours instead of like miles, because who talks about distance in miles?
No,
It's
not us.
so confusing that way. So, did you meet this Fort Worth guy while you're in college?
No, so finished college, had a boyfriend, lived with him. We're both professionals. He is ring shopping for me after a few years. And I decide I want to go to Austin City Limits Music Festival for the first time.
Okay.
I get a friend from up there in Minneapolis to go with me. We fly down, and I meet somebody who I had like communicated with on a message board about Austin City Limits Music Festival. So it was like somewhat of a connection already.
So you still had your
certainly
boyfriend
not
though?
Yes,
Okay.
certainly not a romantic one.
Ah.
Met him, knew in my bones that I didn't want to be with my boyfriend forever. Just didn't like have an exit strategy. And met this guy, and I worked for myself at the time, so I could work from anywhere. And it was just kind of like a reason to leave. I mean, it was a terrible situation. But
what did you do that you worked for yourself?
I was a freight forwarder.
Like what?
So
A what?
yeah,
A freight
forwarder. Yeah. So
you received
logistics,
freight?
basically.
Oh.
No, so I was the middleman, the middle person. All right, I will give you an example.
Yes, please.
A truck picks up a load of widgets in in Fort Worth, and drives it to Shreveport. And delivers it. That truck is from Fort Worth and now needs to get back to Fort Worth.
Okay.
So there are people like me who have customers or people who work for companies that say, hey, I will give you $600 to go pick up my load of goods in Shreveport or just outside of Shreveport and drive it back to Fort Worth.
Interesting.
So you just found people that needed stuff moved back to Fort Worth or wherever.
Yes, all over the country.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
My biggest route was New Jersey to Lansing, Michigan for a coffee grinder. But yes, so there's this whole big network of people like me who find truckers or dispatch people for truckers to then connect them with backhauls.
Okay.
So that's what I did for 5 years after college. I don't do it anymore, but
Okay, weird question. How did you get into that? I mean, you said you basically worked for yourself. You freelance.
So it was set up like an insurance agent. How Jane Doe works for Farmers Insurance, but like she pretty much works for herself, right? She just works under the Farmers Insurance umbrella.
Okay.
So I needed a job out of college. And I knew I would be good at sales, and it's essentially sales because I had to convince the coffee grinder in Lansing, Michigan, that I could handle their business. And then I charge them more than I pay the driver, the trucker. So I skim some off top.
Yeah.
That's how you make your money
of
it. Right. So yeah, I knew that I wanted to do sales. It was 2004. So the economy was like in a weird place because of 9/11 and everything and the war. I had a boyfriend in college, not to tie this all back to boys, but I had a boyfriend in college whose mom worked in like accounts payable for this company and said, "Oh, you should apply here."
But this was a different boyfriend than the one you lived with.
Right.
And
Right,
not the same one from Austin City Limits.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't like.
Yeah.
She's not gonna
Like, I
leave her.
certainly don't. Nobody that's known me for a decent amount of time would ever say that.
I know.
When I tell the story, it sounds more
Well,
salacious.
this story is also over many years. It's not like within 3 months of each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes. So yeah, I thought, okay, I'll just, I've got my phone and the internet, and I can move and do this in Fort Worth.
Okay, so
And I did.
oh yeah. So you met this guy at Austin City Limits,
Yes.
and
At the
then
music festival.
how long until you broke up with your boyfriend, moved in with this?
I mean,
moved
I
to
went
Fort
home.
Worth?
I went home and broke up with him in 2 or 3 days. Like,
Okay.
it was real quick.
So there was
Yeah,
once you found a reason to get out of there, you're like, hey,
Exactly.
It's done,
I
buddy.
knew I wanted out. Yeah.
All
I
right.
moved back with my parents for 3 months in
Okay.
Wisconsin, and then 3 months later,
And
3 months I was in
and
Fort Worth.
then you went straight from there to Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Then you had your new boyfriend here in Fort Worth.
Yeah, and I've been here ever since.
And so what year did you move here? Was that still 2004?
2007, the end of 2007.
Okay, I feel like we lost a gap in there.
I graduated college in 2004.
Okay, and then I'm still.
So I did freight. I was a freight
Gotcha.
forwarder.
Gotcha.
So
I was overlapping college and the time, but from the other you're the freight forwarder.
Yes. Yeah. So I was professional working out of my house up in Minneapolis.
So what? Obviously, when was not the guy. What made you stay in Fort Worth? Just because we're so awesome?
It's Fort Worth.
I mean, more or less. So I am a big believer in like if I go back to wherever, it's not going to be the same, right? I was in Fort Worth for like 2.5 years when I finally realized like this is not the guy for me. Well, I worked for the newspaper in Fort Worth. I had my kickball community in Fort Worth. Like I had things going for me.
Yeah.
Outside of this total loser guy. So it was like, okay, I could go back to Minneapolis where all of my friends have moved on, but why? Why not stay here where I'm ingrained in a community?
And-
So
Yeah.
I
At this
stayed.
time, you've already networked so many people and you've met so many new friends.
Yeah.
yeah, and I had a pretty good life. I mean, I wasn't single that long, but I had a pretty good life in Fort Worth.
Yeah, I think I met you in 2010, maybe 2009.
Yeah, that would have been like solidly in my single days.
Yeah, and we always joked and said me and you were soulmates because we just get along so well.
We did.
And
yeah.
I don't even consider it a joke. The person you marry doesn't necessarily have to be your soulmate, and you don't necessarily have to marry your soulmate.
We just work together so well. And I'm not even talking about like the fact that we both worked for the kickball organization.
Yeah.
Like it was easy. It flowed.
Yeah. Like our basic ideas of how we were going to do things were the same.
Yeah.
It was never me trying to convince you in something and you try to convince me. It's like, this is a great idea. Let's just roll with it. And then we would roll with it.
Oh, it was a great time.
So much fun times back then.
Yeah.
I was in high school back then.
Dustin was in high school back then, driving me around.
I was
driving
drunk Ricky around.
driving drunk Ricky around while he's in high school.
We'd go to Chimmy's and order flying saucer.
Yeah.
We had to get there at a certain time just so I wouldn't get kicked out because they ID'd everybody.
I
coming
remember
in.
that. My driver needs in.
And then
Yeah,
everybody,
exactly.
like, I have a very lovable personality, I think.
Yeah.
So everybody would just,
You
I can attach to a lot of people to where they like me, and they're like, no, we want you here. It's like, yeah, then Dustin, he's not going to drink.
Yeah.
He's just gonna hang out with us. He's gonna have a good time.
Drink. Drinking was not my thing back then.
Yeah, you didn't drink at all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've caught up since then.
you're making up. You're making up for lost time.
Yeah.
So when did you decide y'all wanted to have kids? Well, hold on. Let's talk about your wedding first of all.
Well, first, hold on. I got rid of the loser, and then I met Clark.
Then you met Clark.
Yes.
I know the story about how you met Clark. I don't know if you want to tell that.
Well, the issue was I was dating essentially my customers. Like I worked for Kickball, and they paid to play Kickball, and I was dating them. And when I decided I didn't like them anymore, I was basically like saying I don't want to date you anymore to my customers, which was not great.
It makes a weird situation. It makes for a weird situation.
Yeah. So I thought, I'm just going to stop this. And I went on, it was 2010. So Match.com was all the rage. There was no Tinder or Bumble or Grindr or whatever. So go on Match, meet somebody in like the 49.5 mile radius. I set 50-mile radius, and I meet somebody who lives 49.5 miles away. And
right on the edge of your radius.
What?
Right on the edge of your radius.
Right on the edge of, like a fucking hour drive away. Fucking Plano. Ugh. But I mean, he's like the greatest guy and absolutely perfect for me. So yeah, I had to do it. And
so you're
the rest is history.
Statistic on that one.
How long were you on Match.com before you met Clark?
He was the third date I had.
Damn.
Oh, that was quick. So Match must work.
Yeah.
Also, hold on. Fun side note. Also got matched with Michael Maxwell.
I don't know who that is.
Did not go on a date with him.
Stop funny to me.
Swore him to secrecy.
Oh my goodness. So y'all never went on a date, but y'all knew each other, obviously.
We knew each other before Match. And then I don't know if it was technically a match, but he saw my profile and messaged me, and it was basically like, haha, I see you. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Don't tell anybody about this. Okay,
I'm going to use code names here because there was also 2 other kickballs that actually went on a Match.com date.
Oh.
So we'll use the name Maddie G. I don't think anybody can figure that out.
Yeah.
And we'll call the other one Lara Song. Do you know who I'm talking about? Sarah Long.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's funny because Maddie G actually went out with a different kickballer first before that.
Who else did he go out with?
Her name was Annie Ufrain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, me and her kissed at your wedding.
I know.
I tricked her into it.
She also kissed my 15-year-old stepson.
That's okay.
Jesus.
And I still have the picture from the photo booth on my refrigerator.
I'll tell her. She lives in Austin now. She has a baby.
Oh, good. I didn't know she moved to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, what's her name? Tina moved to... Does she still live in New York?
Tina moved to Philadelphia.
Okay.
Oh.
So she's still up in the Northeast.
Yep, up there, far away.
All right, so you met Clark in 2010-ish?
Yeah, 2000. The day before the Packers won the Super Bowl when they played Pittsburgh in Dallas.
And
so it was like February 6th, 2011.
And y'all's first date was at, hold on, I know this. I just can't think of the name of it.
Magnolia Avenue.
Yes.
Speakeasy.
Yeah, I can't think of the name. You go ahead and say it.
The Usual.
The Usual, thank you. Because the day he was going to propose, he invited us all out there to celebrate after it happened. And he told us, like, I remember him messaging me and saying, I know this may sound weird, but can you come out to The Usual today? And they told me what was going on. I was like, that's cool. I also went to your bachelorette party.
Yes, you did, in Fort Worth also.
And we pole danced.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun.
We took pole dancing lessons.
Huh.
It was a good time.
I felt like
I still use some of those stretches we learned. I still use them.
I don't think I use any of the stretches we learned, but I did feel like I was pretty solid at pole dancing.
You still use those memories though for other things.
Yeah, I think me and that other guy that used to be your friend,
Yeah,
We were
no
both,
longer.
yeah, we were both pretty good at pole dancing, but you know, I stuck
Yeah,
around.
yeah, you
never,
were.
I was never a dick to you, so
Well, you don't owe me $4,000, and that former friend does.
I hope I don't owe you $4,000.
Jesus.
No, you don't. I would love to go back for a second, though, and tell you about what happened that night that you were invited out to the usual.
Okay, yeah, I think I know some of the story, but yeah, you tell it.
So my boyfriend at the time, Clark.
If I remember, he was a little bit stressed out.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. You know,
Okay.
It was all a surprise to me. But he got in contact with the owner of the usual, Brad, who used to be a customer of mine when I worked for the newspaper. So there's some familiarity there. And he asked Brad to put a reserved sign up on a booth for him for like on the certain day and time that Clark was going to bring me in there and propose.
The same booth where y'all had y'all's first date.
Yes, that was the idea. So we get into the usual. He's, you know, I guess this is happening, right? This is going down. He looks at the booths. They're all full.
So
and there's no reserve sign up.
Did you have any clue this was happening?
No.
Like
Never.
there was not even
not.
a single thought in your head that this could be happening soon, or
Do you think my husband is listening an hour and a half into this podcast at this point?
no, he's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
he
yeah, of
dished
course
it.
I had an idea. Like it was my birthday and we
Okay.
were about to move in together. Yes, of course I had an idea. But
Okay.
I didn't realize this was the specific plan. So he sees that there's
especially taking you back to the place where y'all had y'all's first date. It's kind of like something might be happening.
yeah, I don't like it was a favorite place of ours, so I
Okay.
don't think that played into it too much. But it was busy that night. It was like the end of March, you know, the weather was beautiful. Everyone's out. It's packed in there and there's no place to sit. So we go out on there. They have this tiny, tiny little patio, side patio. And we go out there and there's no place to sit there either. So he takes me into the parking lot and gets down on one knee in the parking lot behind the usual and proposes marriage to me. And behind him is the fucking dumpster. He proposes to me next to a dumpster.
Hey, it worked.
I mean, I said yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And-
saying.
Hold on,
Can't
I
bash
feel
the guy
like
too much.
that's a better story than if y'all were in the booth.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you
totally.
100% will never forget that there was a dumpster right next to you when he proposed.
There was
to
a
you.
dumpster.
And probably
yes.
like
I
one
mean,
of the
yes,
top 5 happiest moments of your life.
It warms my heart immensely. I may talk about it like, oh my God, I can't believe you proposed to me. It may sound like that, but no. Like the fact that he proposed to me next to a dumpster is perfectly us.
Like he was 100% going to get that done no matter what. He was not going to let the
Yeah.
fact that no booth was available deter him. And he probably also knew we were all about to show up. I think that's why he
I
was
was gonna
stressed.
say, like
Yeah.
the time, like the clock is ticking, right? Like, oh shit, I got to get this done before all these people show up that she knows.
Then everybody's going to show up and like, what's going on now? I was like,
Yeah. So we got it done. Oh, and he had told me like the day before to to like go shopping and get a new outfit and to get my nails done. I think that's probably what the red flag was about, or the hint was about.
did he try to play it off as like, this is one of your part of your birthday gift. Go buy you a nice outfit, get your nails done.
You know, he was like, hey, it's one of your last nights in Fort Worth before you move in with me in Plano, and like, let's make it special. So yeah, there was some effort, but it was thinly veiled for sure.
Well, that's fun. That's a fun story.
Yeah.
How long were y'all engaged for? Actually, so what y'all dated starting around 2010? This was what 3 years? Did you say 3 years later?
Yeah, we dated for 2 years.
2 years.
We were engaged for a year, and we got married in March of 2014.
And this is when I fell in love with Moscow mules.
Yeah, they're tasty, aren't they?
Yes.
So another fun kickball connection. We had a mutual kickball friend named Louisa.
Yeah.
And she was a sales rep at the time for a vodka company called Dripping Springs Vodka. And she told me she would give me 2 cases of vodka for my wedding for free.
That is awesome.
She said, this is just like part of our job. Like we give out product. So that's all we had. We had wine and beer and vodka at our weddings.
Yeah, I drank a ton of Moscow Mules that night. Luckily, we were staying in a hotel close to where I could walk to.
I mean, barely. You could barely walk
barely.
there.
It was not a straight line
Oh,
walk.
one eye, Ricky.
I ended up peeing on a school, which looking back, that was a bad idea. There's probably cameras there.
It took you about as
Jesus.
long to walk back to that hotel as it did for you to drive to Broken Bow.
Oh, probably.
God
You're
bless.
probably not wrong. That wasn't the only place I had to stop and pee on the way.
Oh,
I'm pretty
God.
sure I had to go drinks as well.
Oh shit.
So Dustin, her wedding was like what you see in a movie. Like they wrote their own vows, they made jokes, they laughed. It was very small venue. Like it wasn't like a huge giant wedding.
Huh.
And so
It was an old antique store.
yeah, and so it's very small. And at the very beginning, it's like, don't take pictures. You're not allowed to. Nobody's allowed to get the phone out at all.
Well, you can't tell me what to
No
do.
cameras. Well, that's what I said.
No, that was my doing.
Yeah.
Put that shit away.
Yeah, Megan's like, no, you're focusing on how funny I'm gonna be
I've
right
seen
now.
pictures on Ricky's
Yeah.
phone.
I mean, I have to.
Focus on
well,
me,
no,
bitch.
after the actual,
I'm just kidding,
after
I
the
haven't seen it.
actual ceremony, we could take pictures, but just not during the.
I do remember
So
you
many
saying, I
rules.
don't care what you say, Megan. I'm taking pictures
Yeah.
now. And I was like, no, now is fine, Ricky. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said that as a joke because I knew we could take pictures then.
Okay.
I was like, no, motherfucker, I'm taking pictures now. And it was just the actual reception. Is that what it's called? No, that's a party afterwards.
Yeah, reception. Yeah.
But the
With a
actual
live band.
ceremony, it wasn't all like a long ceremony. There's a ghost in my right ear.
No, there's not.
Yeah, he's buzzing.
Oh shit. Mine was buzzing earlier when we were talking about that shit with Mikey.
You got a ghost in there.
I did. It was buzzing for a minute. Oh, it was weird.
Spooky.
Anyways,
Yeah, we've determined that ghosts like to mess with electronic shit.
yeah.
So every time
Yeah, for sure.
every time my headphone buzzes, now it's gonna be a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Anyways,
You gotta
all right.
name your ghost.
Yeah,
Back to
so-
the pics.
Yeah, my ghost
Okay.
name is Rocky. So
Because he thinks it's his twin.
yeah,
Because he's Ricky.
I felt like I've told you this story before, but maybe not.
Anyways, listen to episode something .5.
11.5.
11.5.
first-
It'll be on
11.5,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
The first SNL
The one
live-
right after this show.
Yeah, the first
Makes sense, right?
Right before this show.
Well, we recorded it before this show.
It's gonna come out before this show.
Oh, okay.
SNL Light will come out tomorrow.
Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this will come
Man.
out Monday.
Our editing staff is
We're not
just
coming out
freaking
till
on it.
Monday.
I tell you what,
It's a lot of work.
our editing staff is just the best.
Super secret time.
Oh,
After watching the
they
Super Bowl.
deserve a raise for sure.
After watching Super Bowl after watching big halftime show on
The game.
Sunday.
The big
game.
game.
The big game. I was up till 4:00 in the fucking morning
Yeah, I saw some late posts.
editing that audio. I was
Yeah.
like, geez.
Oh my God, I hope
late post.
your listenership is high.
It's high enough.
It's
It's-
high.
well, yeah,
He's like-
it's growing, and that's why I wanted to make sure it was done and ready for Monday. It had to be
Love it.
posted before Monday started. Granted, it wasn't posted before midnight, but it was posted before anyone had to go to work,
yeah.
which was
Listen,
which
you
is the
want
goal.
you want somebody with a work ethic that's going to show up and hold true on their commitments. It's Ricky.
Oh, I thought you were going to volunteer to start editing audio.
No. No.
I feel like you might be a little facetious right now.
No, totally true.
Okay,
Like
well,
you stayed up till 4 a.m. to edit this
Oh,
podcast.
he's dedicated.
so it's all about
Yeah.
it's all about how dedicated I am to something or someone. It's what I do. That I'll go above and beyond for something I'm passionate about, and I'm passionate about
Of
this.
course, you're not going to go above and beyond for shit you don't care about.
Right. Yeah.
You're definitely going to be up till 5 a.m. editing this now.
Oh, shit.
Well, I got to edit what we recorded earlier for the 11 and a half episode, the SNL Light.
by tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I want to post it tonight. But so the time consumption it takes to edit is basically 2 to 3 times the time it takes to record.
Yeah.
So when we
Holy
record
shit.
when we record for 2 hours, it could be anywhere from 4 to 6 hours for me to get all the
Oh
editing
my God.
done.
Wow.
I do more
He
than what I
listened to
should.
it he listened to it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, because I do the editing and then I'll go back and listen and see if I've missed anything. Because there's
Okay.
sometimes we have to take out company names that we say because we just don't want them on there.
Sure.
Certain like mumbles. If you mumble like that, like the words don't come out right, I'll try to get rid of that.
Uh-huh.
Some weird background noises that happen sometimes. If I can eliminate those, I will. And
Okay.
just try to make everything sound smooth. Add in the commercials, stuff like that.
I'm so impressed.
It can be time consuming,
Yeah.
but I don't mind doing it. It's just like I said, time consuming. It really. And then I start drinking beer.
I couldn't do shit for. Yeah, I couldn't do shit for 6 hours straight.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't do shit for 6 hours straight.
I bet your daughter could take a shit for 6 hours straight.
In the park?
Like. Yeah, in the park.
Man, they're big too. I'm like,
what were we even
maybe I need
talking
to
about?
exercise.
Oh, wait,
Can
her
we get
wedding.
back on the track?
Her
Okay,
wedding,
the
yeah.
wedding we were on.
Yeah, so the actual ceremony was. I feel like it was very quick.
Yes, it was, and we wanted it quick. My father-in-law married us, and in and out.
And
Let's get to the fun part.
Yeah,
right?
and like I said, y'all did y'all's own vows, and I thought both of y'all were very funny.
Oh,
Like,
thank you.
Do you have a video of it?
No, so funny about that. My mom wanted we couldn't afford a videographer at the time. Like we put so much money in so many places, and then kind of last minute somebody was like, "What about a videographer?" I was like, "No, we can't." So my mom said, "Well, so and so is gonna video it on their iPhone," and I said, "Absolutely not. This is not going to be on record anywhere. This is only for the people who are here to remember." Now we have our vows written down somewhere in a Google Drive, I'm sure, but no, we do not have it on video. So sorry, Dustin, you're never gonna know how awesomely funny it was.
So we were kind of the same way. I didn't think about the video thing until after the fact, and so I called Ricky's
Really,
dad.
even though you're kind of an AV guy?
But I like what you said, Megan. Is like you don't. I like the idea of not having a video because everyone there enjoyed it so much more.
Yeah.
And I think you would love to be able to go back and watch it and look at it and see it again. But now it's a memory that you have to force yourself to not forget.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
And only the people that were there have it.
Yeah.
And like
we all committed to be
everybody
there.
else.
Yeah, fuck you if you didn't come.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Including like my daughter, who was not alive for it.
She
like,
was.
No, I cannot
she
show you our wedding.
Definitely wasn't allowed to be there.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So what were you saying? You called my dad?
Yeah, he videoed it for us.
With what?
I don't know, some little video camera he had. But then
camcorder.
Cool. Yeah. But it was cool. Like they, I don't know. I think he might have gone to Sam's and had it like put on a DVD, so we have a DVD for it. It was cool.
Yeah.
it's
Have
pretty
you
cool.
have you watched it?
Yeah, it's been a while. But
Every year on their anniversary.
Shit. It's probably.
How long have you been married for, Dustin?
Since 2015, so 6
Oh
years.
my God.
Going on 7.
Yeah,
You
going
got
on
married
7.
young. You were a baby.
Yeah.
Was what 25 maybe?
Your math's not adding up.
I know. Hold on.
23.
You're turning 30 this year.
Yeah. So it's been 23. Damn.
Yeah.
I was young.
Is that right?
You're right.
You were married at 23.
All right, we gotta hurry up this conversation. She's pulling in.
Oh, yeah, but are we just going to cut it short?
Cut what
Or
short?
the podcast. Oh, or the
No.
marriage conversation.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
marriage conversation.
Let's go back to Megan's wedding.
Yeah.
So then there was just the reception, it's a typical reception. I think we had good food. I think somebody. Oh, it was Maxville. Funny, we talked about him earlier. He bet me $20 that I wouldn't go eat off your plate while you're eating. So I was like, 100% I will.
Oh shit.
I don't
Megan,
remember that at all.
and I said, and she will think it's funny. So I walked over there and started eating off your plate. And sure enough, you're like, what are you
Like
doing?
with
I was
your
like,
hands
I
or with like a fork?
No, I used a fork.
Okay.
But apparently you're not. That might be frowned upon. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure it is.
But he thought it'd be. He didn't think I would do it. He's like, "There's no way you'll do that." I was like, "100% I will."
Watch me. I'm glad you made. Hey, I'm glad you came out $20 ahead. On my
I don't
wedding.
think he ever actually paid me. So
Oh,
if
that
he-
motherfucker.
if he's listening to this, he owes me $20. But,
Make sure you linked in. You know what though? He sent me his will for free so that I could edit it with my name. So, like, we're probably all gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say he also did all that stuff when we left Walker.
Oh, right.
so
yeah.
I think I'm gonna call it even on that. We're okay.
Yeah,
We're
right.
cool.
Yeah, definitely $20 worth of legal work.
20
Proceeds
$20
between the two
definitely
of us.
covered that.
Yeah. Good deal.
Oh, that was insane. All right, so you were married, and then how much longer until y'all had this? Did y'all decide to have kids, or how that? What was y'all's process? of
Yeah,
that?
no, we had to decide to have kids because I couldn't have kids. I basically am dried up. So we thought, okay, I think we're ready. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, oh yeah, no, you're not gonna be able to do this. So I went through IVF.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And
Okay, hold on.
yeah.
I want to know. Okay, I'm sorry. Back up. I was distracted.
Yeah.
You said
we need to let Elena know that she can talk to us because it's less distracting when people talk to us instead of trying to.
I don't know what she was trying. She was mouthing to me, and I can't read lips. She knows that.
Yeah.
I don't know why she tries. Anyways, so you said y'all were trying to have kids, but you couldn't. Is that right?
I mean, we didn't try for
I'm saying
long.
couldn't, but
the exact word was she was all dried up.
Okay. All right. So it was you. Not him.
Yes. Yeah. No, it was definitely my problem.
Okay.
Yeah. I have low follicle reserve, which means I don't have a lot of eggs left. And I was 34 at the time, I think.
So are you comfortable talking about this?
Yeah, totally. I think more people need to talk about it.
Okay, I'm glad you feel that way because one of my radio shows I listen to, one of the guys on there talks about it a lot. And he says he gets such great feedback because nobody talks about this publicly. Nobody shares their experience and not realize how many other people go through this experience.
So many people have fertility struggles. And there's so many different kinds too. I feel like my kind was super straightforward. Hey, there's not a lot of eggs in here and you can try for a really long time, but it's probably not going to work.
Well, ours is the opposite.
So, Dustin.
Yeah. Well, I think it was the chemo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was me.
We'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
Okay, so so when you found out, did y'all try it all before that and then went to the doctor? Or
yeah, we tried. We tried for a couple months, and basically
Okay.
we had a couple different opinions who said hey, you're not getting any younger, and you can keep trying, but it's gonna do nothing but get harder. As I age, as the months pass.
Yeah, it's not going to make
only
things
going to
happen
get
faster.
more difficult. And as soon as somebody tells me hey, this is probably not going to happen, I am fuck you, I'm going to make this happen. So I was all in as soon as I heard it couldn't happen. And found a doctor that I liked, and gave myself the injections, and they doped me up real big.
So,
went through the whole thing.
if you don't mind saying, what was the process you had to go through? What all did you have to do? What did
all-
Clark have to do?
Yeah, so our medical insurance didn't cover anything, so
Okay.
we paid 100% cash. All in, it was maybe just shy of $25,000.
Okay.
And
Good
that
to
was
know.
for one. That was for one round of IVF with a lot of pharmaceuticals. So,
Okay, so I don't know what
the-
IVF is.
in vitro fertilization. So
Okay, I know what that is.
where, yeah. So they fertilize my eggs, make them pump me full of hormones to
Mhm.
get as many eggs as they can during a particular cycle, and then they put me under and take the eggs out.
Yeah.
And then they take a sample from my partner
His name
that
is
he
Clark.
provided.
Yeah.
Yes, Clark. And he provided in office for them, which he has a very funny story about it. He's like, how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to hold my phone and this cup that I'm supposed to collect everything in
Why is he
and
holding
do what
his
I
phone?
need to do? Well, he's not going to use the magazines that they have there.
Oh.
Huh.
Did he
whatever-
just FaceTime you?
That's what I was.
No.
I was about to ask something like that. Did you record a video
No,
for
he's
him?
watching whatever he needed to watch on his phone
Ah.
Well, in my
to
mind,
ejaculate quickly. It was
being
not
your
my face.
husband, it should have just been you.
Yeah.
No, I was in a hospital gown and a hairnet.
Oh, you were
waiting
there.
for his sample.
Okay.
Uh,
They wouldn't even let y'all be in the same
yeah,
room.
you couldn't even do the deed.
No. So they took
That's
the
not fair.
sample from him. They took my eggs and they made embryos, which is, the beginning stage of a pregnancy. They made them in a petri dish, and they go through several phases of okay, you've got this many, and then the next phase, okay, this many survived. We had 6 embryos that made it through everything, which is a great number for our ages and my particular issue, which is not a lot of eggs. We felt very good with 6 embryos. And then they take tiny little biopsies, tiny little cuts of each of the embryos. The embryos are frozen. So they take tiny little cuts of these frozen embryos and send them to a lab in a different part of the country where they then genetically test them. And that was an extra thing that we paid for to make sure that, they'd be good.
I hope that wasn't Kentucky or someplace like that, because
I don't think so.
Shit. I don't know
It was
if I trust
definitely
that.
Right.
believable.
Like we had to send these Kentucky.
Well-
I was like, I don't want to do this with my brother. This is my husband. It's different.
So the results come back a week later, and I had what I thought was going to be like 6 chances, right?
Yeah.
One of my 6 embryos was any good. The
Oh,
others
wow.
the others had either too many chromosomes or too few, to the point where like they probably wouldn't have ever even resulted in a pregnancy. They just would have like failed before I could have become pregnant. So I had, after all of that heartache and emotional turmoil and the hormones and everything, I had 1 chance.
And you made it.
And,
And
this
it's
is
cool.
it. This is your only chance. It's not like you can do this.
This is
process
this
again.
is my only chance. We had decided like in the middle of the process, like it's just too difficult, and we don't want to. If this round doesn't work, I know a lot of people go through lots of rounds of IVF, and I said I don't want to do this.
So
yeah,
could you have done it again, or was that dozen eggs your last dozen, or half dozen? Sorry, was that half dozen eggs your last half dozen?
well, that was half dozen embryos. No, we could have done it again. We can still do it again. But like going through it all, I had kind of decided I didn't want to do it again.
Huh.
Okay.
So, and you get to find out the sex of the embryos too.
Oh wow.
If you want to.
That's crazy.
Did you?
Yeah.
Huh.
No, absolutely. That's like the only good part about this whole process is knowing. So I knew I was going to have a girl before I even got pregnant.
Huh.
That's very fascinating.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Like how on
So they had. Go ahead.
how on earth do they do that in Kentucky of all places?
God bless.
Well, there's an X and a Y, and if there's 2 X's, it's one thing, and if it's an X and a Y, it's the other.
So
yeah, they sent the one good embryo back, and we schedule the they call it the transfer, the embryo transfer, and I lay on a cold, hard operating table and watch on a screen as they bring the embryo from one room to the operating room, and they put it in me. And then I have to wait for 2 weeks to find out if I was pregnant.
I guess that's the next question I had. So if they inserted 2 of the embryos, would have meant that if you said you only had 1 good one. However, if you had 2 good ones or multiple good ones, and they implanted both of them, would that mean that you would be having twins at that point?
I could have the chance at having 2 babies. Yes.
Okay, so
you
also said they were frozen. So let's say you did have 2 or 3 good ones come back. Could you use one now and then the other ones later?
Yes. Okay. The goal was to put a couple on ice, and you have to pay for storage for those. Okay. So it's
can't just throw them in your freezer?
a couple $1,000s a year.
Man, that's crazy.
It turns out they can't. Yeah, they do not want to be next to like the frozen berries
your Chuck roast
and my Eggos. Yeah, no.
Your eggs and
they have
Eggos.
to be. Yeah, they keep them at the lab.
So let's say that you did have another one that you did freeze. It could be and if you did it later on, it could have been the same age as your daughter that she had in the beginning. However, it's not. Like it's frozen, right? Like
yes, correct.
That just blows my mind.
Yeah, that embryo was made with my 34-year-old egg.
Yeah, so it's the same exact eggs being fertilized in the same exact time. However,
and we know the genetic makeup of it.
So
too.
crazy.
Yeah.
So when
it's definitely the future of
Jesus.
So when you found out Scotty was a girl before she was even impregnated inside you, if you'd had multiples, and let's say you found out you had a girl and a boy possibilities, how hard would that decision be?
I'm sure I would have picked a girl. So I have a stepson also. He's 23 now. Yeah. So like we kind of like have the boy thing covered already.
Yeah. Me and him kissed the same girl at your wedding. I don't know if you knew about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we definitely wanted a girl. Obviously we would have went ahead if we only had one and it was a boy. We would have went ahead with that. But I was happy to have a girl.
So do you think there's another chance that you might do this again?
I mean, I'm going to be 40 in a month. Like, probably not. Never say never, but I am fucking exhausted with one child and no real job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the last couple of years have been a total beatdown. And my kid has a sibling. They just happen to be 20 years apart.
Yeah,
so.
that's a big age difference. They probably won't hang out a lot until they're like 20 and 40.
Right. Like she's definitely growing up as an only child, but when difficult things have to happen as far as like when her dad and I die or need extra care and stuff, like she will have somebody to help her with that. Like my stepson is like pretty much I'm the mother figure. So, he is he is dedicated to this unit, this family.
Did he live with y'all before he moved out on his own?
For a little bit. He moved in with us when my daughter was 2 months old. And he lived with us for about a year before he grew up in Florida and started college in Florida, and we were unhappy with his grades. So we had him come stay with us for a summer and work and go to community college after his first year. And when it was time for him to go back to Florida after the summer, he said, I don't want to go. I want to stay here. So yeah, he stayed with us. And we've got, we have space for him and everything. And then he
your 2-story giant house in Oak Cliff.
I know, our Oak Cliff house.
Oak Cliff glass and mirror.
Oak Cliff.
That's my hood. Yeah.
And
then he enrolled at Texas State, so he is in San Marcos, and he graduates in May.
Awesome.
Nice.
What's his degree in communications, or is he going to law?
Public relations.
If only accounting.
Huh. Oh wow, I feel like that's worse than law. Like as far as your mental capacity.
I know. He is an RA in the dorms right now, so he's like, in charge and responsible and about to graduate. And yes, we are very, very proud of him.
Okay, before you got surgically knocked up, what were you doing for a career then?
I worked as a sales rep for a digital x-ray company that sold to dentists. So I covered about a quarter of the state of Texas, and I would drive and fly all around and visit dentists and try to sell them, successfully sell them the digital x-ray equipment that my company sold, which is when you go to the dentist, you get like little things put in your mouth and they take x-rays.
They ain't little. They feel big. Little
those,
things.
Those little,
bite down. I can't. It's touching the roof of my mouth and my tongue. I cannot bite down.
Those are the things I sold. There's 3 different sizes to them.
Y'all should have made them a little smaller.
Maybe they gave you the large size.
I guess.
Just
because I had a big ass mouth because I had big ass teeth. I don't know.
It's like we can't.
But then they also sold. They also sold like machines. I also sold machines where you stand in it and then it like circles your head and it takes a whole full X-ray.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the way better one.
Yeah.
That's the way better option.
Yeah.
I feel like that and the technology of spray tan are similar.
Very similar, yes.
Like except one just sprays you, the other one like looks at your inside.
Yeah.
I mean, one can
totally
diagnose cancer, and one gives you like a nice glow.
A nice glow, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Prior to giving you cancer. Yeah.
So then you got knocked up surgically, and
and I couldn't travel anymore.
Yeah.
So I worked for somebody back in Fort Worth who owes me $4,000, whatever.
Shit.
So that's when you did that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The timeline
when I needed to be back. Yeah, I needed to be back at home to go through IVF and not travel for work. So yeah. But I miss El Paso. Man, oh man, do I miss traveling to El Paso?
Are you joking?
No, I love El Paso.
El Paso is the worst city in.
It is beautiful.
Listen.
When I have to go to Abilene or Midland or Amarillo, and then El Paso comes up on my calendar. Oh, that's living the high life right there.
If you have to rank those 3, El Paso is number 1.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yep.
El Paso is like mountains, right?
I've never been there.
Yes.
I just heard
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I once stopped in El Paso on my way to Arizona, but I never left the airport. I did buy shot glasses though.
Nice.
It's a nice little airport, but people are so nice and welcoming in El Paso.
Huh.
So when I ended up landing in El Paso, it was because my flight got delayed. I was supposed to be going to spring training, and on my way to the airport, no. Before I even left for the airport, I got a notification saying, "Hey, your flight's delayed till so and so is it got canceled. It wasn't even delayed. My flight got canceled." So I'm like, well, shit. And then I get a text, "Hey, we're putting you on this flight," and it's like 30 minutes from the time it was. So I'm in Burleson. I'm like, so I instantly just called and I hate talking on the phone, I hate talking on the phone. So I have to call the airline agency, whatever they call them, and talk to this lady and figure out how I can get a flight. It's like, there's no way I can make it to this flight. There's absolutely no way. I mean, the drive at minimum is going to be 50 minutes, and that's with zero traffic and me hauling ass. And then she found another flight. She's like, yeah, but you have a plane switch in El Paso, but I can get you on, and it leaves in an hour and a half. So I'm like, I can rush and get there, but if I hit traffic, I'm not going to make it. And she's like, well, call me if you can't make it. I'll put you on the flight. Ended up getting there and ended up in Arizona earlier than I would have been if my flight hadn't got canceled.
Nice.
What an incredible customer service rep.
Yeah, she did good. She did good for me.
That's the shit dreams are made of right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Love it.
So now you say you have your real estate license. Have you ever done anything with it, or you just after Scotty was born, you kind of just?
Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting on it. So if you want to buy a house, I can't help you. I'm sorry, but someday I'll use it.
Maybe.
The nice thing is, like, it never, I just keep paying for it every couple of years, and it's not going to expire. So when the time is right, the time will be right.
And you got your rental property in Oklahoma, so that helps.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a nice thing to have with it. Plus, I feel like that can coincide with your husband's career to some extent,
because he is a dirty, rotten lawyer.
He's a dirty, rotten lawyer. I wasn't gonna say that, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you did.
Huh.
Yeah.
What kind of
oil and gas, land rights,
Okay,
all that.
I was gonna ask what kind
stuff.
of law he practiced. So he's oil and gas.
Yeah, and land rights and stuff. So he works in the real estate departments and real estate and banking departments of a big firm here in Dallas.
Oh, so he can't move to Burleson, huh?
Dang.
I mean, he's been working at home for a long time.
So he can move to
Oh, he
Burleson.
can.
Yeah, he's fine. He can move to
Yeah.
Burleson.
Or we'll just get another investment property in Burleson,
There you go.
Or
and I'll come weekend there.
Oak Cliff can be your investment property.
There you go.
And
Oh,
then
right. You can live full time.
You just come in Burleson and live full time.
This house is too big to rent out.
Oh, that's. I feel like
I'm
that is the
kidding.
most humble brag I've ever heard you say,
Dang.
and nobody will know that you're kidding once the edit crew gets a hold of this.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I won't do that to you.
Good.
And I really.
So yeah, pretty much all my life is now is like taking my kid to the park and helping her poop.
Letting her
and
shit in the woods.
Clean
the
her poop
woods.
up.
And
Yeah.
then bagging it.
Yeah.
And then
Wipe her butt.
Okay, I was
clean
going to
it
ask
up.
you that. What is that process?
bagging. Just like a
The-
dog.
the
except you have
wiping.
wipes.
You don't wipe your dog.
Well, yeah, but you wipe the kid.
I mean,
You
how
just-
do you wipe your butt? I wipe her butt just like you probably wipe your
Yeah.
butt, just from a different angle.
One wipe at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you just put those in the same doggy bag?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Shit
yeah,
means shit.
they're all dirty.
Yeah.
They all go in the same trash.
Yeah. I mean, I'm. These are legit questions I'm asking.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. So I wipe her butt. I throw the wipe on top of the poop, and then
Okay.
when she pulls up her pants and walks away, I scoop everything up.
She makes you do all the work.
So here in about 3 months, she should be able to
100%.
do that. That way she knows not to shit in the woods again.
Listen, I mean, let this be birth control for you all.
Wow, it pretty much is.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I've made it.
Yeah.
I've made
No,
it.
these are real. These
I've
are
made it
real
long.
things.
Real life problems.
But actually, this is something that I think I would enjoy. As weird as that is, I would love to have a kid that would just shit in the side of the park.
Yeah.
You be
And
you,
the-
bro.
so
you
we
be
start-
you.
Fuck the porcelain.
We potty trained her. I potty trained her
Yeah.
the first week of stay-at-home orders during COVID because I was like, oh well, shit, we're home.
Was that
I
when
might
the
as
water
well
didn't
teach you
work?
how
You
to
know how to go outside or what?
potty. Well, no, I knew she was 2. I knew she was ready to be potty trained because she was pulling down her pants and her diaper and pooping in the neighbor's front yard.
Jesus, it gets even better.
Hold on.
Yeah.
When she was
So I
2,
was like, all right, I guess I'll teach you how to go in the potty.
when she was 2, she could pull down her pants and poop in the neighbor's yard by herself. But now that she's 4, she needs your assistance to hold her up.
Yeah.
I mean, no, when she was 2, I still held her hand. Like,
Oh
I
God!
felt
You just allowed her to shit in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah,
Just there
yeah,
dragging her
I
over. No, we gotta get to our yard.
Oh, I love Scotty so
Our neighbor-
much.
Our neighbors loved it and like thought it was delightful and
Delightful.
Yeah. So
Ah,
there
it's
we go.
fertilizer. Just
So
leave it.
She picked the same neighbor every time.
Yes, always the same neighbor.
How often did she do this?
I mean, it was a handful of times, and then I
Okay.
realized, like, okay,
Oh,
we got like
it's a
time to do
handful.
this process.
Well, you gotta pick it up with a bag.
I feel like basically potty trained herself. She went to
More or less.
She went to the door, start scratching on the door, and you're like, all right, let's go outside. We go to the front
There-
yard.
Pulls her pants
There
down.
is a term. There is a parenting term called free range. So much like a chicken, right?
Yeah.
Like you just let them go. You just
Yeah.
let them do whatever they want to do.
Let them shit
So
whenever
free
they
range
want to.
parenting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
no.
like that's a very good step to potty training because she already knows she doesn't want to do it in her pants.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yep. She's like, there's some discomfort of having it next to her body.
As long as she doesn't pull it down in the living room.
Yeah, did she ever?
Exactly,
did
which she never did.
Okay, she never did
Knock on
that.
wood.
Always
Yeah, because
outside.
I've heard different stories about potty training where a lot of times you let them just be naked all the time.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah. I don't know why I know that.
That's great.
Probably from that stupid radio show I
You
watched.
probably remember it from
When I
your
was a
childhood
kid,
days.
I was just naked all the time.
Yeah.
I
Little
wonder,
Ricky.
I wonder. I need to ask my mom if I ever shit in the backyard when I was a kid, or the front yard.
Or the front yard, yeah.
Or the house.
And that was kind of the issue is like, oh, it's cute and funny, but like
It's
we live on
front
a
yard.
pretty busy street, and you're like pulling down your pants and pooping in the front yard where like all these people are driving home from work.
Sure.
Yeah,
Made their day.
I know when I was a kid, I peed outside all the time, which I think most boys did.
When you were a kid, when you were 40.
Well, yeah, I still do it, but I mean,
He doesn't even go inside the studio here.
yeah, I just
You
go
just go
pee outside
outside.
by the trucks. Yeah, but I remember distinctly peeing outside in the front yard of my parents' house when I was a kid and getting yelled at. It was like, neighbors can see you. It was like, our neighbors, we have like 3 neighbors and they're far enough away, they're not going to see anything.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Lucky
Still
them.
now.
Yeah, I was
They
smart
still
enough
won't see anything
then.
now.
I was smart enough then to know that my little bitty wiener could not be seen from across the street. So I'm like, there's nothing to worry about here. Even if a car drives by, trust me, we're cool.
Yeah.
They're not gonna know what. They're not gonna see anything that's going on out here.
Oh, he's just
Speaking of
watering the
little
yard.
bitty wieners,
Oh God.
I had to help a friend, one of Scotty's little friends at the park,
Oh
go
Lord.
poop the other day.
Oh my goodness!
So-
do they just know to go to you?
I guess.
Well, the mom,
The poop queen.
the mom, who's also a friend of mine, had to run home for something, and she's like, "Hey, can you watch my kid
He
while
was
I'm
a kid.
gone?"
By
I'm
the
like,
way, he
for
hadn't,
Oh.
15
he hadn't
minutes.
shit in a day.
And they
so-
probably love this. The kid's like, okay, my mom's gone. Let's go shit in the woods. I know
So-
your style. I know what you do.
This sweet little boy comes up and says, "I have to go poop," and I said, "Okay, I will help you.
Oh,
Let's go."
God.
So I get my wipe and my doggy poop bag, and we go over by a tree, and he pulls down his pants,
This is just-
and there's like a little 4-year-old penis, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know about this, right?"
This is different than what
So-
you're used to.
Yes. So he like pushes it back and down to like pee,
As
I
you're
guess.
holding-
Yes,
hand?
he's double fisting. He's peeing and pooping.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Okay, give me your hands." And then he like kind of half-heartedly squats, and I'm like, "Okay, can you go?" And then he looks up at me and he says, "My mom does this better." Like I was like, "Okay, well then pull up your pants and wait for your mom to come back."
Guess we're done here then.
Jesus.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
Megan, it's been too long since I've seen you.
I know. When can we do this in person?
I don't know, but I also think you owe me beers.
I'm sure for something.
I don't
owe you
remember
beers.
what the bet was, and I even said I would. This was many years ago. I would come out to Oak Cliff so you could buy me beers there, but it just never happened.
I will buy you beers wherever I can see you.
Okay, when you get back from vacation, maybe we can plan a day, even if it's a weekend, to where you can come out to the studio and we can do another episode in the studio.
Yep.
That sounds
Just
incredible.
no shit in the studio. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I got to shit in the yard.
I won't let Scotty poop. Yeah, I
Gotta
won't let
shit in the
Scotty poop in
yard.
your house. Thank you guys so much for having me on. This has been an
Yeah.
absolute delight.
It was fun.
Yeah,
and,
it was a lot of fun.
a nice little escape from reality. I appreciate you.
All right, that was a good episode.
Yep.
Megan, thank you so much for joining us.
Yep. It's fun.
Anybody out there, check us out at simsandleon.com or our email at.
SimsandLeon@gmail.com. Please email us.
We need an email.
Yeah. Or TikTok. S&L Boyz. With a Z. Mountain Dew.
Okay, bye.